Hey everybody, it's Monkeyfarm, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on my all-in-one chicken and egg farm. There were two main goals when I built this. One was to have the chickens far away from the base so I didn't have to listen to them because they are very annoying and loud. The second was to have all of the controls for this actually in the base, so I wouldn't have to ever actually leave the base to make new chickens, to collect eggs, to collect my cooked chicken. So basically down here is the control room. I have a dispenser with filled with eggs attached to a repeating clock timer or whatever you want to call it. So basically it will repeat, it'll continuously shoot eggs out, and the chickens will swim their way up to the chicken coop and fall in. Once they are all grown, they will lay eggs, which get washed down a canal here. And once I want to actually cook the chicken and collect them, I flip this switch, and that switch controls a couple different things. The chicken coop is basically two layers of water separated by these signs here. When the switch is down, the chickens will float up here, lay their eggs. The eggs will drop down into this little hole in the corner here and head down to where we can collect the eggs. When we flip the switch up, that'll do two things. That will turn off this water so the chickens fall down and now fall down the hole. And then the second thing is it diverts the water from going to where the eggs would normally go, and it sends the chickens over to the fire cooker so we can get cooked chicken. So we're going to head over to my testing grounds map, and we will show you how to build everything. So I think the best way to show you guys how to build this is to show you all of the individual pieces rather than to just build it all in front of you, because your terrain, your map, everything is going to be different than it was on my base. For example, I had the chicken coop at ground level, and the control panel was 10 or 15 blocks below ground level, so that affected how I used the water canals, how I got the chickens up to the coop, how I collected the eggs and the cooked chicken back at the control panel and all of that. So basically I will show you all the different pieces and how to wire them up, for the pistons, and how to wire up all the controls and everything, and then obviously you can figure out how to fit that into your particular base. Okay, so to get started, basically you want a 7x7 square, and this is for the chicken coop. That's 7. Okay, and you want to build that, it'll be 5 blocks high if you count the floor, but basically you need to build, or you need to dig out the hole at least 4 blocks deep. So the reason I chose this size is because when you put a water block in the corner, it will automatically cover every block except this corner one. And that's where we're going to have the eggs drop down, where the chickens will drop down, and all of that. Next, what you want to do is the next layer up, you want to cover completely with signs, and you should know how to put a sign on top of another sign. You just put the cursor over it and add it like you would any other sign. Okay, you'll see that every block now has a sign over it on this second row up, and the reason for that is basically when we have water fall down here, the same thing will happen. Obviously it'll be in a different place, so but the chickens will actually swim on top of this water, and then when we turn the water off, they will drop down, and then they'll be able to fall through the hole. Okay, now the bottom layer you can just put a water block in the corner. Up here we're actually going to have it drop in off the side. If we had the water coming out here, we would miss a block. So the water has to basically fall. If it falls from a block like here, basically the starting point is this corner again, and now it will cover every block that we want it to cover. And then we need to place blocks here so the chickens, when they're swimming, that they don't fall down the hole. We only want the chickens falling down the hole when we turn this water off and they fall down here. The water can go here. We're going to want a block right here to block the water, and we're just going to power that with a piston, or a sticky piston. So go 2 back, and if we power this, basically it will grab that block, and you'll see now it pulls back the piston, or pulls back the block and blocks the water or lets the water go. So we'll leave that open right now. So now, if a chicken is swimming on top of this layer of water and they lay an egg, it will still drop down and fall down this hole over here. Okay, now we need to have 2 different canals here, and I'll show you why. We're going to place a water block in this corner here, and the water will obviously go down, 2 directions. Now, when this water is, when the second layer of water is up here and the chickens are floating up here and they're laying eggs, we want the eggs to come down this direction, and we can close off this water path either over here, but I want to do it right here simply because it will be all of our wiring will be closer together. Okay, and the reason I'm using 2 pistons here is because chickens, let me break this real quick, chickens need, since they're swimming on top of water, we need an open air block above the water for the chickens to swim, otherwise they will drown. The eggs, or the canal where the eggs are rushing down, we can keep as 1 block because obviously they are in the water, rushing down the water rather than swimming on top of it like the chickens. Okay? So we are going to wire this. We'll wire this all up later, but if you put redstone on top of this wire pointed into these pistons, it will power both of them. So basically right now the chicken canal is cut off when this redstone is on. Now we need to figure out how to block the eggs. And basically we'll just do that with the piston as well. So we need a piston to block this particular block right here, and this will be a little tricky to let's see if I can do this real quick. Okay, so if we power this, okay, so that sticky piston will now be blocking this water canal. Okay, so the difference is that we actually want these pistons to be powered when this one is not powered. So we need to have this piston off while these are on, in other words. So we're going to do that once we wire this all up. So I can just run a redstone wire from here, and we're just going to have to connect them to both of these. Now you can do this, in a bunch of different ways. I'm just going to put a wire, just a redstone wire. Okay, then what I'm going to do is just invert this signal. So the chicken line will be on when the egg line is off, and vice versa. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is, why don't we throw a chicken in here real quick. Okay, so we have our chickens, and they are blocked, they are swimming. Let's say they laid an egg. Wait, we need this switched the other way. If they lay an egg, the egg will be washed down this canal, and I'll show you how to continue a water canal in a minute here. So let's say we want these chickens to drop down. Now what we also need to do is wire this up to our piston back here to shut off the top water, right? So we need all of this to work at the same time when we flip this switch. So I'm just going to run some more cobblestone up to our piston over here, and this will be you know, like I said, this will be different on your map likely. It just depends on how you've built everything. Okay, so let's see. So let's switch this so the chickens will be on, and then what I'll do is we'll have this powered on at the same time. And it looks like I need a repeater. There we go. So when the chicken line is on, this water shuts off. The chickens will fall down and wash into the corner. They will then wash into this hole. And obviously we don't have this closed off. Okay, so I've moved this chicken line over, or this chicken channel over one block, obviously because we don't want them hopping out where the redstone is. Sorry about that. But you know, like I said, this is not going to be how you're building it in your world. You're going to be, you know, digging through dirt and, you know, going over to your control panel wherever it is. So anyway, I'm just covering this up, you know, so eventually somewhere down the line you're going to have you know, a canal where the chickens will come out and a canal where the eggs come out, and you'll have them hooked up to a switch, however it ends up in your world. Now, obviously the whole point of this is to have the chicken coop far away from your base, because they're noisy and annoying and you don't want to have to listen to them. That's the whole point of this. So this control panel is not going to be far enough away from the chicken coop for you. So the way you need to build a canal is basically for the eggs, you're going to need to let gravity do the work, unless you build a, you know, some kind of piston contraption that that's set on a timer that will push the eggs up, because eggs cannot climb stairs like chickens can, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the chickens in a minute. Okay, so if you need your eggs to go farther away, you're going to have to dig down and let the water drop off, and so water will go 8 blocks before it stops. So it's basically all you need to do there. Now the chickens, you know, you can push them up to the chicken coop, and we're going to build that next. I built this with glass so you could see what the deal was. If you have rushing water pointed towards stairs, just like in a mob spawner, the chickens will be able to swim up and hop up each level. So you want to basically have at least 2 blocks where the water can flow. That way it'll have a direction. Then you put a stair in front of that, and then you're going to place another block of water on top of that stair, and you're going to prevent it from flowing back by placing a sign back here. Like I said, this is going to, how far you need to build this, it depends on how your base is, how far your chicken coop is from the base or your control panel. It's all up to you how you build this. Okay, I'm going to throw a few chickens in here. Maybe not. So one thing you do need to know, you will lose a few chickens. Occasionally they stop on the stairs and they don't swim and hop up. Now I don't know, I've tested a bunch of different ways to see if I can prevent that. But under all scenarios, occasionally you will have a chicken that just doesn't cooperate, and it's lazy and stops swimming or stops flying. And like you saw there, all three did make it up, but you know, it'll probably be about 1 out of 10 will end up, let's see if we can get one to do it here. They will basically just stop. They're going to stop on the stair and just stand there. There we go. Okay, so that chicken was lazy and he stopped, but luckily we had another chicken and he just bumped him off. So sometimes more chickens will bump, you know, the other chicken off the stair, and that will be fine. They won't die. Sometimes they will die. So there is just a margin of error there that you need to know about. You won't get every single chicken back into the coop. But then what you want to do is just have that water canal dump into the chicken coop. You can do that anywhere you want. Okay, so the final piece of the puzzle is how do we get our eggs into this canal right here. And if you saw my Let's Play where I built this in my actual world, I kind of showed it to you. It's basically we're going to be building a repeating timer that basically we can turn on a switch and it will repeatedly throw eggs or snowballs. It'll throw eggs into the water, it'll shoot them into the water, and it'll hatch the chickens, and then they will swim up to the coop. That way you can control everything from the base. Okay, so I've just set up a little platform here so that we can build the timer. What you need to put is another lever on the wall, and a redstone on the block behind it. Now, a couple different things we're going to do. Place a redstone torch here. Right next to that, you want to put a repeater pointed that direction and put it on the third tick, and put a redstone there, and then you want to have just redstone kind of circling back, or circling into the repeater from here, and that should be it. See how it's blinking? Okay, so then we just need to wire that into the dispenser. It doesn't really matter where you wire it from, as long as it, you know, receives the redstone signal. So the other thing you probably want to do is not shoot straight into water like that. What I've found helps a little bit is to have some kind of block, but I guess it'd be better to build it up here and shoot it. Okay, I've just moved the dispenser up a couple blocks, so now it's hard to see with the glass. Basically, the dispenser will be shooting into a hard block there, and the chickens will fall down. And we need to make sure that there's room for the chickens to get through, that they aren't blocked by that. So let's just test that out real quick. Make sure. Alright, let's test it out real quick. Okay. So basically the timer is repeating, and the chickens are hatching and making it all the way up to what will be the chicken coop in your site. And you'll obviously want this water on when they drop in here, and they will basically just swim around here and lay eggs, which will drop down, and you'll collect them right here until you flip the switch. Now the final thing you need to do is add your fire cooker, and this needs to be a little bit above ground as well, because they need to drop off over the fire. So that's why this design was very convenient for for my base, because the control panel was underground a bit. Now actually, since we didn't have our water very far back, I'm going to just place it up here real quick, and I will put a sign above it. Luckily the sign won't catch on fire. That'll block the water from extinguishing the fire. I'm just going to break this so you can see what's going on. And we'll flip the switch. The chickens will rush down here and be pushed over the fire. Let me just hatch a few chickens real quick and we can test it out. Now obviously the baby chickens will not give us any cooked chicken. Okay, looks like we have a winner. So we have one chicken coming through. Now hopefully he can't get out, but obviously you'll want this covered up in your world. Now I have actually found that it's generally better It's generally better to have a stronger flow of water next to the fire to make sure the chickens are pushed through, because otherwise sometimes they can actually die in the fire and you won't be able to collect the cooked chicken because it'll burn up. It won't actually fall out. So let's go back to the base on my Let's Play world, and we'll just kind of recap all the things that we've built here. Okay, just to recap, we have the water channel where the eggs drop down. We have the water channel where the chickens are pushed through the fire. We have our dispenser full of eggs with our repeating timer. Our clock timer thing is back here. And when the eggs are shot out, the chickens land in here and they start swimming towards the chicken coop. That water channel comes all the way from the base and drops off into the chicken coop here, where they swim and drop eggs through the water. Okay, I will flip the switch real quick, and eventually we get our chickens flying through the fire and dropping our cooked chicken. So anyway, I hope this tutorial was a little bit more in depth than when I built it here in the Let's Play world, so hopefully that will give you all the details you need to build this in your own base. If you do have any more questions, just leave them in the comment box. I will try to answer as many as I can. And yeah, give a like and a favorite if you did enjoy the video, and we'll see you guys later.